A teenager charged with an attempt in the fatal shooting of a Newark police officer. That shooting also critically injured another officer. But prosecutors say the 14-year-old won't appear before a judge until doctors discharge him from the hospital. The accused shooter went to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Investigators say he used an automatic firearm to fire at officers. Detective Joseph Ascona Friday night. Today, a family relative spoke about why he became an officer of the law.
He just loved to serve. He just loved to serve. Again, that's just part of his personality. And then, being a police officer, it just fit who he was. Yeah, he was a great, great guy. He would always, anytime there was like a family reunion, anything, he would always greet you with a hug.
Police were conducting a firearms investigation. Prosecutors say 4 other people are in custody.
All right. Peace and blessings, ladies and gentlemen. All praises to the Most High. The story that you just saw happen last week on March the 7th, where the 26-year-old Joseph Ascuna, a Newark, New Jersey police officer, was gunned down while they were investigating an illegal firearms racket, allegedly, in Newark, New Jersey. And the person who has been charged with his demise is a 14-year-old. Of course, his name and identification has not been released. This is a tragic situation. Never I want to see anybody lose their life, definitely in that fashion. However, I want to highlight something, about this situation. Now, on this channel, we've been covering a lot of instances where the tables are turned, meaning there have been several instances where police unalive, many times unarmed black men, even little boys. And the narrative is not the same when it comes to the quote unquote victim of these instances. Now, fortunately for the young 14-year-old, I think he was injured. He was not unalived, as they say. But, another officer was injured as well. At the time of this article, I think he was still in the hospital, but then, he would be released or remanded to the jail after, he heals up or what have you. But I want you to listen to this other news clip about his funeral, how the officer is memorialized. Everybody talks about how sad and somber a day it is. He's a fallen hero. They're reading letters from, before he joined the force, giving a lot of sympathy to this individual. But notice how there is no record of, his any complaints against him or, his infraction list or, when he got in trouble in 8th grade. There's nothing to denigrate this man. Everything is all smiles and pleasantries. And everyone is such saddened. And, the flags are flown at half staff. But the question I want to know is, why is there not this same sentiment for the victims of those whose lives are taken by police? Just watch this video and see how it's much different than what we see when police officers take the lives of regular citizens.
It's a sad day and a final farewell to Newark Police Detective Joe Ascona. Family and friends and so many cops, thousands of them, today paying tribute to the man gunned down, police say, by a 14-year-old 1 week ago. A heartbreaking day indeed. New Jersey reporter Anthony Johnson live at the church for us. AJ?
Yeah, Bill, you're absolutely right. It was an overwhelming show of support. Many of the police officers attending today's funeral arrived out here before sunset. In fact, there were so many, a lot of them could not make it into the basilica. Luckily, there was a sound system outside so they could listen to the entire funeral. But what we heard is about a young man, a 26-year-old man who was dedicated to protecting the people here in his home city. This was one of the largest funerals to honor a fallen hero that anyone can remember. The service for Detective Joseph Ascuna was filled with reflection, sharing memories of the 26-year-old Newark cop who was allegedly gunned down by a 14-year-old who was firing an assault weapon. In a touching tribute, a letter written by Ascuna about why he chose this career in 2019 was shared. It was heartbreaking.
Another reason I chose this career path was for my mother. She is the main reason I chose this career. My mother is my strong supporter, and it will break my heart to let her down if I do not complete this police academy. I will give my all during the police academy to see my mother happy and to start my dream career.
Former Newark Public Safety Director Anthony Ambrose brought Ascuna on to the force and recalls his graduation from the academy.
Back in September of 19, I remember when he graduated, Mayor Barack and I, it was like 4 days before COVID. We had about 75 officers graduate.
Governor Murphy and many dignitaries were in the Basilica paying tribute to the fallen officer. Newark's mayor says Ascuna was dedicated to serving all the people of New Jersey's largest city.
He made a deliberate effort to stand in the way of harm for all of us. He paid the ultimate sacrifice.
During the service, Detective Ascuna was posthumously promoted to the rank of sergeant. Mourners say these are the times that the families of officers need to know they have support.
I think this outpouring today shows the love and support that individuals in this community had for him. Certainly, Newark Police Division had for him. And so it reminds us what we've got to do to be there for his family.
Yeah, certainly it was a very touching service that took place out here today. Also in that letter, Ascuna said that he got into law enforcement because he has an uncle who has been a cop in this city for more than 2 decades. That is the latest live from Newark, New Jersey. Anthony Johnson, Channel 7.
All right, so there you hear the glowing tribute from many people, you know, even the mayor, the governor, the prosecutor. Everyone is in attendance, you know, flags flown half staff. And you even see the news person say at the beginning of that article, that clip, what a sad day, right? So it's not a sad day when police officers kill an unarmed black man. That's not a sad day. You know, he said thousands of police officers were in attendance. So if all of these police unalivings of black men are mistakes, why are not thousands of police in attendance showing support for their families? You know, the news said it was a heartbreaking day, right? So it's not a heartbreaking day when police unalive 13-year-old boys running away from them. You know, they said he was a 26-year-old man dedicated, you know, to service, right? What about the 14-year-old boy? Why don't they say, well, he was a 14-year-old boy just great in math, right? None of the, you know, I hope you see what I'm getting at when I'm pointing out these discrepancies. He said he was a fallen hero. You know, many, you know, the police are around saluting. Fallen hero, right? But all the black people who get by police, they are suspects. They are criminals. They are subjects. Does anyone else besides me see the double standard, that the dichotomy of when a police officer unfortunately gets in the line of duty, as opposed to when police officers snuff out the life of a promising young African American who's loved this mother just as well as this cop loved his mother. Why is there not any glowing tributes by the news and visits by the governor at the funeral and the mayor? No one speaking up. Even I think there was the police chief. I remember when he graduated. It was COVID. Okay, why nobody remembers when those people graduated when police take their lives? All of these people are there, and even the prosecutor said, it's great, during this time, just to let them know the families have all the support they need. When have the families of those being taken by police received support? Only thing they receive is ostracization, and that's not a word, but I just made it up. They're ostracized. They're cast aside. They're put away. They're taught not to ask questions. Don't question us. There's no support. There's no police flags flying at half staff, red, white, and blue. None of that. But if these things are accidents, shouldn't it be a great show of support and force and love and memories of the deceased, and the police should go all out as in this nature? Wouldn't you think so? I do, especially if it was a mistake and we're sorry that it happened and it's unfortunate, but it's never such a somber and a sad day as when police unfortunately lose their lives in the line of duty than when a young black man gets taken at the hands of the police unjustified. There's always police officers, they face lots of dangers every day, and it was a split moment to second, and he becomes the victim. He becomes the one who needs counseling and support, right? I don't know. I just had to point this out, and of course, once again, you never want to see anybody lose their life in that fashion. No one. All life is precious, whether you got on that badge, whether you went to the police academy, or whether you're just getting out of prison. Like, where's the letter of all the young? Where's the letter of Tamir Rice that wrote to his mother when that he made the card in sixth grade, for his mother? Where was all of those letters and humanization techniques given to all of the falling young black men who was falling at the hands of the police? So I think the same amount of effort and support should be given every time that a police officer takes a citizen's lives, because their lives is just as much precious. They are just as much heroes as our dear brother Joseph Ascana. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. 919-587-7782. Peace and blessings.